Hi, friends. It's Reverend Laurie with Unity of Ocala, coming to you on this beautiful July Friday, July 15th, halfway through the month. My apologies for not getting a love notes out last week. Last Friday, I was traveling all day. I had to leave my house at 3:30 a.m. so I could park my car at Tampa Airport and leave the airport pretty much before the sun came up and fly to Northern Virginia. Well, we first stopped in Charlotte, where I was there for about an hour and a half layover, which was lovely because I could walk slowly through the airport instead of sprinting, and arrived in the beautiful, misty, they call them hills, but they're mountains compared to Florida, at the base of the Appalachian Trail in this beautiful little city called Lynchburg. You may be familiar with Lynchburg. It is where Liberty University is. Liberty University, the brainchild of the Falwell family. Yeah. And it just surrounds this whole city. And in the center of this city, in an old, beautiful church with stained glass, wooden pews, is this delightful Unity Church. What a perfect place for a Unity community. And these people are so fantastic. I worked with them about 3, maybe 4 years ago, and they brought in a minister. It was not a good fit. And it was a perfectly divine orchestrated event, but it was messy. They lost their minister. There were a lot of broken hearts, some damage done, some wounds, some trauma, church stuff, life stuff. Remember, we are all in boot camp for increased spiritual awareness and heightened consciousness, right? So we had a wonderful long weekend of sharing, heart sharing, opening, healing, celebrating, enjoying each other's presence. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 other ministers there. 2 were Unity ministers. 2 were these incredibly eclectic spiritual teachers that just kind of rock and rolled my world. I want them to come in and be part of our energy at Unity of Ocala. You will love, love, love them. Yamani and Dawn, oh my gosh, they are fantastic. So we really connected on the waves of consciousness, the 5 of us. It was as if we felt a shift happening, like they were here when we got there. We could feel them coming here, and then all of a sudden they just went boom. The healing was done. We could move forward. And I love when that happens because we don't dwell. We don't dwell in that and go over it like a psychiatrist would, like a counselor would. We'll see you next week and next week and next week. No, when that healing happens, when you feel it, bam, you go with it. And they are now on a precipice of really and truly where Unity can take them. We're breaking down walls, folks. The world needs us. We're the ones we've been waiting for. Timeout is over. God says, get moving, spread the good word. Tomorrow, I will be officiating a celebration of life service for a dear friend of mine, friend for years and years. His name is Lance Henderson. If any of you are viewing me from my old church, or folks that come to my new church and go back and forth, you will have known Lance. He was a musician there. And what distinguished Lance, I think, from anybody else I had ever met in my life, this man was always happy. That was just his badge. That was his makeup, his character, his way of life, always happy, always giving hugs. That is just how he lived his life. I remember he had a heart attack probably 10 or 15 years ago. And it was quite serious. And he was in ICU. And I was heading out of town, so I wanted to go see him. And it was like about 5 or 6 in the morning. It was way before visiting hours. And I'm in my jeans and my t-shirt because I'm ready to hit the road. But I needed to connect with him before I left. And the nurses weren't going to let me in. They're like, what do you mean you're his minister? And he was in ICU. I was right in the doors as they opened, and the nurses were at the station, and he was in his bed. I could see him, and he's like this, Reverend Laurie, hey, let her in. Just because she's hot doesn't mean she's not my minister. They started laughing. They're like, you're a minister? I'm like, yeah, sorry, were you expecting a big old white man in a collar? Sorry to disappoint. So I ran over and I hugged him, and he said, let me get you a chair. And he's getting ready to get up out of bed with all these tubes coming out. And I said, no, you stay put. How are you? He said, I'm fine. I'm so happy you're here. He had this huge smile on his face. He just started laughing with me. Oh my gosh. We were laughing so hard until tears were coming out of our eyes. And it just about something, I don't even remember what it was we were laughing at. But that's the infectious joy that he held his whole life. So I know tomorrow is going to be a true celebration. I know that Lentz is free. He is spreading joy and hugs all over now. He is not bound by earthly ties or pains or anguish or heartaches of any kind. He is free. So with that song in my heart, I am happy for him. But it's an adjustment, like everything. We've all experienced a lot of loss. And I don't like to say loss because a great mentor friend of mine, Neil Donald Walsh, when he came to work with the senior seminary students at Unity Village when I was there, we got to just be in the classroom with him for the whole week. And he is so magnificent. The presence of God in this man is so palpable. It radiates from him, and you can feel it if you're in the room. And I was in church ministry because I did the field licensing program. So I went up for stretches at a time, and then I had to go back to work. And I had just done about my, I don't know, 25th or 20th memorial service in my first few months of ministry. And it was wearing on me. It was tough. And I was asking him about all the work that he does. And when you do work in affirmations, when you are shifting and manifesting a new reality for yourself, when you're working with these spiritual principles, and you're really bringing about a mastery to life. But I said, we're doing all the right things, but what when we lose them? What when all of that didn't fail to work? And he just looked at me with this pure light of God. And he said, darling, we never lose them. Once they've been a part of us, they're always a part of us. And who says all of your mastery didn't work? You're not looking at it in the eternal realm. Of course it worked. Your love is constantly at work. You never lose them. And that just lifted me, all that weight. And I was able then to start looking at death, the passing of the veil, in an entirely new light. And I remember hearing when I was in anguish with God about all these people that were passing on, why did you call me to ministry at all, to an elderly congregation, when you knew I would fall in love with these people and then have to say goodbye? Neil's voice tells me we don't say goodbye, we never lose them. And I heard that sweet voice I hear when I'm listening internally here. I heard God say, who else but you? And look beyond. Look beyond. So I started looking beyond, looking deeper, looking more careful, listening deeper. And I began to see and experience things in hospice homes, in nursing homes, in hospital rooms, in living rooms, in bedrooms, in backyards, in conversation that took me, when I allow it, beyond the physicality, beyond the verbal human voice, beyond the mortal mental thinking, beyond. Do you know how much is beyond that we don't even dare imagine? Lentz knows now. We're going to be holding that celebration for him. And for you too, for life, for all of us. I found a beautiful poem in Shalon Harkin's Susceptible to Light. I've really been getting into her this year. Can't wait to meet her. I know we will. I'm manifesting it now. You know, when you want to meet somebody like that, you want to be in their presence, you simply manifest it. You put your best foot forward, you put your best affirmations forward, you envision that meeting, you see that beautiful face, you feel the embrace, you listen to her voice as she speaks new poems to you. She's going to come see us. Oh, this is for all of us. Please don't try. Please don't try to hurry through this meadow toward ambition, ease, pleasure, lunch. How many of us just can't wait for lunch, you know, in those jobs where we get an hour break, looking at the clock. Please don't try to hurry through the intimate, fiery lick of pain, or the cauldron of heartbreak. Don't hurry through the cauldron of heartbreak, but it hurts, God. Don't hurry. Or the cauldron of heartbreak slowly brewing you into new magic. That cauldron of heartbreak is slowly brewing you into new magic. Alchemism. Please don't wait for the grandeur, the fabulous vistas, when all the richness of the now is at your fingertips, ready to be gathered into your heart. Don't move toward love, move with it. It's in you. You are it. You never lose it. What are you waiting for? Blind desire? The object of your goal has always been exactly where you stand. Ponder on that this week. Ooh, we're going to have a delicious Sunday talk. I feel it brewing. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, God loves you. I love you. I will see you Sunday. Be well. Don't hurry. Take it easy. You've already found it.